Hi everyone and welcome to this session on Introduction to Artificial Intelligence by Advancer EduVentures. Great having all of you here. Let me just quickly take you through the agenda for the day and initially allow us a few moments to introduce ourselves. What is Advancer, who we are, who I am. I'll give you a brief introduction to artificial intelligence. Where do you see it in real life? Applications in the real world. How exactly is AI used in the real world? Then we'll come to the section on careers. How do you create a career in AI, which I'm sure all of you are interested in. And then allow us a few minutes more to talk about our Advancer TCS certified artificial intelligence specialist program. And then at the end of this session, I'll open up the floor for questions and answers. Any questions that you may have, I'll be happy to answer at the end of this session. Till then, given the large number of people attending this session right now, I would request you all to hold on to your questions till that point of time. All right. A lot of your questions will also get answered during the course of this session itself. So just to introduce myself too, initially, my name is Aatish Shah. So about Advancer, Advancer is an IIM IIT alumni venture, and what we are is a data science and AI knowledge hub designed to meet the learning needs of all kinds of people, be it people new to data science and AI like yourselves, or people who are already working in this field and want to upskill and reskill themselves with newer tools and technologies and areas. So what we do is we provide online training in data science and AI so that you can learn anytime and from anywhere. And how exactly you can do that, I shall come to shortly. Over the last 5 years or so, we have trained over 6,000 people globally in data science and AI. And today, all of them stand testament to our capabilities in terms of training people in this field and helping them start careers in this area. If any one of you has gone through some of the more popular blogs and magazines like Analytics India Magazine or Analytics Vidya, you would notice that they have rated us as one of India's top 5 data science and AI training institutes. Silicon India Magazine has also awarded us the Training Institute of the Year. And again, third-party testaments to our capabilities in terms of training people in this field. Who am I? My name is Aatish Shah. I am the co-founder and CEO at Advancer. And before starting Advancer in 2013, I had over 6 years of experience in the investment banking and equity analytics industry. I worked with global investment banks like Lehman and Nomura. I am a postgraduate in management from IIM Lucknow and also an engineer from Mumbai University. My co-founder on the data science vertical is Mr. Lalit Sachan. Lalit has over 6 years of experience in data science and AI. He has worked on end-to-end projects. He has completed his post-graduation from Indian Statistical Institute, Calcutta, and he's a BTech from IIT Kanpur. And that's how we are an IIM IIT ISI alumni venture. So before I proceed further, I'd just like to understand from you, what do you think is AI? What is artificial intelligence according to you? Let's have some of your thoughts on this. Why don't you put it in the questions box what exactly you think it is. I'll read out some of the responses for others, and let's make this session more interactive here. So I'll pause here for a few seconds to collect some of your responses and then read them out and proceed further. So Ragesh says it's minimizing manual interventions using AI. So how exactly does that happen, Ragesh? Mayur says it's a machine which can think like a human, all right. Alvira says it's an automation software kind of thing. That's one of the most, basic and low level applications of AI, or barely even AI, Alvira. Mohammed says basically getting our work effort reduced. How? Deepak says machines that can act like a human. All right. Arun says a platform where human intelligence is not required. All right, that's good. Edgar, machine making decisions with less human intervention. Okay. And Swati says AI is automation of repeated tasks. Not really. Okay, Bharat, you don't have an idea. Anjan says AI is a technique trying to bring human intelligence. All right. Lavkush, a machine learning from his user activity. Okay. So, getting a lot of responses here from you, but, I won't read out each and every one of them in the interest of time. Suffice to say that some of you have some idea of what is AI. Some of you are not really clear here. And that's great because that's why we are here to help you out, right? So let's first go through a few examples of what exactly is artificial intelligence. Where exactly you have seen and used AI in real life. And yes, most of you have done that. When you upload a picture to Facebook, right? Let's say a picture of your friends and family, it automatically tags people in that picture, right? And very accurately. It will tag who your friends are, it will tag who your family is, and it will do that very accurately. How does Facebook know who these people are? Just from a photo, right? So this is something which is called as computer vision, which is an application of artificial intelligence. People have uploaded, billions and billions of pictures, photos on Facebook. Facebook has, multiple pictures of what each person looks like, or, is in different poses, in different angles, etc. By using something called as computer vision, which requires some mathematical algorithms and is an application of artificial intelligence, it is able to understand the face structure of each and every person, each and every user of Facebook. By understanding this face structure, it is able to, from any photo that is uploaded in the future, it is able to tag, yes, that this person is Mayur or this person is Rohan. So this is nothing but an application of artificial intelligence which you guys have seen and have been using for many years now. A lot of you would have used Netflix, Prime Video, Hotstar, and while using these over-the-top content providers apps, you would notice that they start recommending certain shows, certain movies to you. How exactly are they recommending this to you? And quite often you would notice that these recommendations are very accurate, because when they recommend something to you, yeah, you probably want to see that too. So they are doing that through a system which is called as a recommendation engine. This recommendation engine is nothing but an application of machine learning and AI, which is constantly taking in inputs from you based on what and how you're interacting with these apps, what you're watching, how long you're watching it, when do you watch it, what kind of shows and movies do you watch, which kind of actors and actresses are part of those movies and shows, who has directed them, how long they are, what other people like you are also watching. So it is constantly ingesting tons and tons of data, and through the analysis of that data, through creating something called as a recommendation engine, it is able to recommend certain other shows and movies to you. So again, this is a system which is actually learning on its own as time goes by, as newer and newer inputs are being put in. For its millions and millions of users, it is actually personalizing the, I would say, experience that you have on this app. So what Rohan Vora would see versus what Shubham would see versus what Falak would see is something completely different for each one of you. And this is something that only AI and machine learning can do at scale. Google do play. Not saying that you people might have used this, because this is at the moment available only in the US, but here this is actually a system which Google has developed to, it can actually create what I would say is it's a replacement for a secretary or an assistant. It's a robotic secretary. Through this system, you can actually have it call, various maybe restaurants or various places like a doctor, etc., to make appointments for you, for instance. It will call up a restaurant and it will talk exactly like a human, in a human voice, answer the questions asked by the person on the other end, just like a human would, just like you would, and probably make a reservation for you, for instance, right? At the other end, the person doesn't even understand whether he's actually talking to a human or an AI system. So this AI system is able to, understand the way a human speaks, understand the natural language that humans use, understand the context that it is used in, understand different languages, accents, etc., and also talk in a human voice. So this is a very high-end application of artificial intelligence, which is now almost freely available across entire United States. And anyone can download this app in the US on their phone and have it do what you need it to do, just like a normal secretary. So in this sense, artificial intelligence is something that, will eventually replace a lot of low-end jobs like secretarial jobs, for instance. Right. So a lot of you would have heard that AI is going to replace jobs, etc. Yes, a lot of jobs and the nature of jobs will change. A lot of low-end jobs, can easily get automated through AI. And to an extent, many tasks that you do, many jobs that you do with human-like intelligence will also get replaced by AI over a period of time. Not saying this is something that will happen in a year or two, maybe it will take 10 years, but eventually it will happen. And as I said, the nature of jobs will change. So there will be more jobs created which are more higher end, which require more creativity, which require more thinking, which is still not, which an AI system may still not be capable enough of. Amazon Go, again, something which is available at the moment in the United States mainly. So let me ask you guys, when you shop in a retail store, what is the most annoying or irritating part of shopping in that retail store? The queue says Ragesh, the bill line says Rohan, right? So we end up quickly shopping and picking up our things, but then we have to stand for 10-15 minutes in a queue, a long checkout queue to get our bill done. That's the most irritating and annoying thing. So in the US, Amazon launched a range of stores where you don't need to do that. You just walk in, pick up what you need, and walk out, and you are immediately charged for that on an app. So how exactly does the store know what did you buy and who bought it, for instance, right? So in this store, there are multiple cameras which they have put up. Through those cameras, they are watching each and every person in the store and what they are putting in their basket, picking up from the shelves, putting in their basket, or probably having changed their mind, putting it back on the shelf. Through those cameras, they are, again, they are using computer vision to understand who you are, what kind of products you are picking up, right? Which product did you pick up? Did you pick up a sandwich? Did you pick up a bottle of ketchup? Did you pick up a packet of bread or something else altogether, right? So each of those packets has certain labels on it with shapes, just like, you have QR codes or barcodes. These cameras have scanned that and figured out what product it is and added it to your bill. As soon as you walk out of the store, your bill gets generated and you get automatically charged on your payment method which you have put in there, right? So again, you don't need people at checkout counters. You don't need people to create your bills for you. This system will automate away all those jobs too. Apple Siri or Google Now or Cortana, a lot of you would have used these systems, right? You speak to them, they do what you ask them to do. So these systems actually understand the language that you use, which only humans could do till now. But now these AI systems are also able to understand what we are saying, Alexa, etc. Alexa, play this song. Alexa, do this. Siri, do this, right? So they are able to understand and do it also, just like a human would, just like a human secretary would, for instance. So again, an example of an AI system which all of you have used in real life. So now coming exactly to what is artificial intelligence in a theoretical sense. So I just gave you examples, many examples, and there are many more examples of how AI is already available and present in our real life. And over a period of time, we'll see many more applications of artificial intelligence too. So AI is nothing but the ability of a machine to perform cognitive tasks commonly associated with humans. So here when I say a machine, I mean a computer. I don't mean a factory machine which is churning out products, because a computer will be needed to be able to think like a human does. And this computer can be something as small as your mobile, right? Cognitive tasks are tasks which require human level thinking, right? Where you have to put together a certain process inside your brain to be able to achieve that task. So artificial intelligence is creating machines which can actually take up those human level thinking tasks and do them automatically at scale, right? Today you can do something within your own limited capacity, but this system can do it for hundreds of millions of people within a few seconds. So it is the ability of a machine or a computer program to think and learn, right? So it's this machine or this computer program or algorithm, it not only has to think, but it has to learn also. So when you create an AI system or a machine learning system and deploy it in the real world, that's not the end of its job. That's not the final step. This system is actually going to ingest all the new data that is coming in, and it is going to constantly learn and improve itself, right? Think about the way a child learns to write, for instance, right? It sees what A looks like. The child sees what B looks like. Then it through its eyes, it understands and helps its brain understand, what alphabet A looks like. Then through hand-eye coordination, it is able to replicate that A. Initially, it makes a mess out of it. The kid would make a mess out of writing that A. But slowly over time, as it keeps repeating that task, as it keeps seeing that A, as it keeps training its hand to follow that pattern, it understands how to write A. Similarly, this machine also keeps taking in new data, new inputs, and keeps improving itself, keeps improving its ability to, undertake those tasks and make decisions just like a human would, right? So the concept of AI is based on the idea of machines being capable of thinking, acting, and learning like humans. So this is a concept which combines computer technology, maths, and domain understanding to create machines capable of interacting with their environment, learning from that environment, and acting upon the data in a manner which is considered intelligent. Right? Now that's a quite a long, I would say, definition of AI. So let's break it down into various parts. So what is it? It's a concept which combines three things: computer technology. Computer technology is the technology which is used right from the point of collecting data, storing that data, processing that data to make it suitable for analysis, analyzing that data, and understanding the output of that analysis, and finally creating being able to take decisions based on that analysis and deploying it eventually in real world, right? So when we talk about data today, we are not talking about few rows and columns. To create AI systems, it requires humongous amounts of data, right? You will require terabytes of data to be able, or gigabytes of data to be able to create really accurate and good high level AI systems to replicate human thinking processes. So for this, you require very advanced computer technology. A lot of it is now which is freely available, and a lot of it which is something that you need to learn to work in AI. Maths actually provides us the algorithms and techniques through which we can analyze this data, make sense out of it, and help machines take decisions. So mathematics provides us these algorithms. And finally, domain understanding. So you need to understand the area in which you are applying this system, the business or the industry, or the field in which you are applying it. So without understanding that, you won't be able to create a system which is good enough to be deployed in real life. So again, AI is a multidisciplinary concept which combines computing, which combines maths, and which combines domain or business understanding to be able to create these machines. So AI is, as someone is asking, is AI a programming language? No, AI is not a programming language. It uses a lot of different programming languages to implement these systems. So again, when we look at how AI is divided, let's say it gets divided as per Accenture into three different components: sensing, comprehending, and acting. So sensing is taking in the inputs. Just like we have the 5 human senses, sight, hearing, touch, smell, taste. Similarly, an AI system would also be able to sense. So through these 5 human senses, what are we doing? We are actually taking in data. Through our eyes, we can see what a person looks like. Through our ears, we can see what he's talking, we can hear what he's talking about and understand him, right? Through our touch, we are able to feel and understand how things actually feel. Right. So similarly, AI systems also need to be built in order to be able to ingest these things. So the cameras of the AI system are the eyes of it, right? The microphone of your phone is the ears for Siri or Alexa. So similarly, sensing is the first component of creating AI systems. And through sensing, you have technologies like computer vision, which I spoke about, audio processing, which I spoke about. Then comprehending. Comprehending is, once these inputs have been taken in, what does one understand from it, right? So by seeing maybe, the face of a person, you are able to recognize who that person is. So again, this AI system needs to comprehend, for instance, who that person is. And, eventually convert that into knowledge. And finally, act upon it. Okay, this person is X. Let me recognize him and do what my system has been created for. Right. So machine learning, expert systems are part of the acting part of these technologies. So the kind of applications that can be built are multiple. There are humongous number of applications of AI. Anything that a human does today, eventually we can target to achieve through AI, right? A human today is able to do a lot of things. Today's AI systems are able to do, one or two out of those things. Eventually, the goal is to create AI systems which can do everything that a human does, and that too at scale. But that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of research. But today we can, we have things like chat bots, for instance, right? When you are chatting on your computer with maybe some website somewhere on Amazon or Flipkart or Zomato or Swiggy, you are getting replies from a bot. This bot is understanding what you have typed in, right? You may have typed it in, very pure English, or you may have typed it using colloquial language or slang. These bots are able to understand all of that and reply to you very accurately. So some bots are so good that you don't know whether a human is there or it's actually a bot which is replying. Right. Speech analytics, understanding what you are talking about too. Recommendation systems, which I already spoke about. Eventually cognitive robotics, which is creating robots like Sophie. Some of you may have heard of Sophie, which is able to converse and talk like a human does. Right. So that is what AI systems do. So some of you may have, this confusion. How is AI different from machine learning? I've heard of something called as deep learning. Is deep learning the same as artificial intelligence? We have heard a lot about data science. Is data science artificial intelligence? So let's clear those doubts right here. So let's, in our discussion for today, we will focus more on terms like machine learning, deep learning, AI, not essentially data science. But a lot of these terms are, overlap each other or are subsets of each other, right? Machine learning, deep learning is a part of both data science and artificial intelligence. Data science and artificial intelligence overlap each other to a large extent. Today, I would say that data science is more like a mother term or an umbrella term which covers everything within it, including artificial intelligence. Yes, there are some aspects of artificial intelligence which don't necessarily deal with data, right? Like the hardware part, etc. So that we will exclude from it. But eventually, the ability to create those systems to a large extent depends on data, and that is where data science comes in. So machine learning, deep learning are all parts of artificial intelligence, and let's take them up one by one. So, there are two pictures in front of you. I'm sure today all of you can recognize what is what. Which picture is that of a cat and which picture is that of a dog, right? So the one on the left is obviously a cat, or the one on the right is obviously a dog. And all of us can say that. But show this picture to, a computer and ask it to identify which is a cat, which is a dog. Would it be able to do that? No. So we need to build a system, for instance, which is able to recognize this. So how do we go about doing it? So this is something called as machine learning, where we are actually training or making a machine learn to understand a very small task, for instance, which is identifying what is a cat and what is a dog. So we will provide these machine learning algorithm multiple hundreds or thousands of images which are labeled cat and which are labeled dog. So we'll give it thousands of images where we say this is a cat. We'll say here are another 1,000 images which is a dog. And this algorithm will understand from this data being input into it. Eventually each picture is nothing but data. Every pixel of a picture is a data point, right? So based on this data which is being input into this algorithm, the algorithm will learn what a cat looks like. The algorithm will learn what a dog looks like. And eventually when you show it this picture, it will say, yeah, this is a cat and this is a dog, with very high accuracy depending on the algorithms that you are using, right? So this is where we are creating something called as a machine learning system. So a machine learning system is a system which is, or machine learning is something which is a subset of artificial intelligence. Machine learning provides us many techniques which can be used in artificial intelligence, but artificial intelligence also uses many techniques which come outside the purview of machine learning. So machine learning is a type of AI that provides computers with the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed, right? So we are not programming a system with very clear rules saying that, a cat is brown, a dog is white. So any picture which we show to you which is brown in color is a cat, and any picture which we show to you which is white in color is a dog. No, A cat can be white also, a cat can be any color, a dog can be any color, right? So we cannot program a system with explicit rules saying this is how a cat looks like and this is how a dog looks like. So this is where you provide the system label data, you provide the algorithm the label data, it will learn, and then when you provide it the new data, it will be able to predict, yes, this is this, and this is a dog, this is a cat. So this is not rules based, right? A lot of the automation that you guys do, robotic process automations, etc., they are largely rules based. But when we talk about machine learning and AI, we are not talking about rules based programming. We are talking about a system which by itself is able to understand what is what. Neeraj, please hold on to your questions. I will answer them once this session ends. All right. Deep learning. So deep learning is something that some of you may have heard of, most of you may not have heard of, and that's fine. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and it is inspired by the way a human brain actually processes and analyzes information which is being provided to it. So today a human brain at a biological level consists of something called as neurons. These neurons are interconnected to each other and they form the thinking or cognitive part of your brain, right? So when you see someone, the neurons in your brain are taking in that input and they are processing that input, they are analyzing it, probably going back into your memory to extract, what kind of, which face is this, how do you associate that face with a name, and then tells you, yeah, I saw this person, his name is Neeraj, or his name is Ashish, right? So deep learning is something which replicates the way these neural networks in the human brains work at an artificial level through mathematics. So deep learning are the algorithms, provides us the algorithms which actually create an artificial intelligence system, something called as artificial neural networks. So there are multiple levels and I would say multiple different artificial neural network algorithms which can be used to create an AI system. Just checking here, are you guys able to hear me clearly? Someone is facing an audio issue. Yeah, okay. So in case any audio issues at your end, do check your network. It may be fluctuating, guys. Okay, thanks for that. So deep learning, let me put it plain and simple, is the building blocks of artificial intelligence. So what are the applications of deep learning, right? A lot of you would have heard about all the hype around self-driving cars. Google is creating a self-driving car. Uber is creating a self-driving car. There are other organizations which are creating self-driving cars or trucks, for instance, right? So these self-driving cars are again an application of artificial intelligence where the human capabilities of being able to drive a car are being put into the machine itself using deep learning. So self-driving car, is able to understand what the terrain around it looks like through maybe laser or again cameras. Um, you know, they are trained by constantly giving it images of how roads look like, what traffic looks like, by driving these cars on the road manually and giving it those inputs, and through those inputs this deep learning system will learn what a traffic light is. A traffic light is red means it has to stop, green means it has to go. If there's a car which suddenly comes in front of it, means it has to brake. If there's a free road, it can accelerate, but there's a speed limit, so it has to maintain that speed limit, right? So it has to read the speed limit signboard which is on the road and understand what the speed limit says. So whatever a human is doing sitting behind the wheel, this car now has to do. So a deep learning system can, look at a photograph and say, yeah, here is a parking space which is empty. Let me park this car in that space, right? So this deep learning system has been able to understand what a road looks like, what a parked car is, what a building is, what a window is, what a door is, what an empty space is, right? And it is now able to park the car itself. Finally, again, coming back to speech recognition, the example that I gave you earlier, Google Now, Xbox, Siri, Alexa, etc. So a lot of speech recognition is done using deep learning. So data science is, as I mentioned earlier, someone was just asking me, what is data science? So data science, as I mentioned earlier, is an umbrella term which covers everything within it, whether it is machine learning or deep learning or artificial intelligence. So data science can also refer to something as simple as visualizing data, right? Creating charts and tables. Data science can refer to even business intelligence is a part of data science. So, creating dashboards, creating stories, etc. for management to go through, that is also data science. Being able to forecast the sales of a company, that is also data science. But being able to forecast the sales of a company is not artificial intelligence, right? It requires, let's say, statistical analysis of data using a technique called as time series forecasting, but that does not qualify it to become artificial intelligence. So data science covers a whole lot of things which are not necessarily AI also, right? So AI is a subset of data science. So let's talk about careers here and what's the market buzz on artificial intelligence. So the International Data Corporation says that the worldwide spending on cognitive and artificial intelligence systems will grow to $78 billion by 2022 from $19 billion in 2018. So that's a 4 times growth in just 4 years. Tremendous growth happening in this field. A survey by Ernst & Young says 56% of senior professionals feel that lack of AI talent is the single greatest impediment to implementing AI in businesses. So there's a huge lack of talent in AI and companies are struggling to find good talent. IBM says annual demand for data scientists, data developers, data engineers will reach nearly 700,000 openings by 2020. Again, a very, very large number. As per Tencent, which is one of China's largest companies, demand for AI talent will soon cross 1 million people around the world. Again, a humongous number. As per a study by Analytics India magazine and Advancer, which we did last year, close to 90,000 positions related to data science are being advertised every month, right? And a lot of these positions are going unfilled. Times of India says data scientists earn much more than CAs and IT professionals, and that's the truth. Versus IT professionals, data scientists would be earning twice as much easily. Economic Times in a report said that there's a 400% increase in demand in India for AI and data science skills last year. So quite clearly there's a huge amount of buzz and hype around data science and especially around the demand for people, right? There's a tremendous growth in demand for people. So what does the data say, right? So if, as per a study by LinkedIn, amongst the top 20 emerging jobs between 2012 and 2017, machine learning engineering jobs increase 10 times over what it was in 2012, and data scientist jobs increase by 7 times what it was in 2012. Again, as per a report by World Economic Forum, emerging roles globally by 2022, data analysts and data scientists and AI and machine learning specialists are number 1 and number 2, right? Look at, if you can see or read the top 10 declining positions. A lot of these positions are actually getting replaced by AI, and that is why they are declining, right? So a lot of new jobs getting created in areas and a lot of old jobs getting replaced by these new jobs like AI and machine learning specialists. If you go to Indeed.com, which is one of the world's largest job portals, they provide something called as Job Trends Engine, where you put in a term and it shows how jobs are growing for that term and how many people are looking for those jobs. So as you see here, the demand for artificial intelligence, the number of jobs is increasing and increasing, and the number of job seekers are not increasing. So the gap between number of jobs available and the number of job seekers is constantly growing. And because of that, there is a constant increase in the salaries being paid for such roles. So if you look at the average salaries being paid for AI specialists in India, it ranges anything between about 11 lakhs to 15, 16 lakhs. And these are average salaries for average, experience levels like about 2 to 4 years kind of experience level. So anyone with 2 to 4 years experience in this field will get at least 15 lakhs every year. And someone with more than 5, 7 years of experience can easily outstrip 25, 30 lakhs per year. And heads of, data science roles or artificial intelligence role heads are earning close to 1 crore every year. So quite simply, there's huge demand for people and salaries are increasing at the rate of about 20 to 25% every year. Where are the jobs in India as far as AI is concerned? So Bangalore and the National Capital Region, contribute almost 55% of the jobs, followed by Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Chennai. What is the kind of average work experience that is required? So there are jobs across experience levels. 27% of jobs are for freshers, 40% for those between 1 to 2 years, another 19% for 3 to 5 years. So quite clearly, almost more than 75% of jobs are for those who have below 5 years of experience, and another 25% for those who have more than 80%, and another 20% for those who have more than 5 years experience. So what do you need to learn to become an AI specialist, right? So there are many concepts and tools that a person needs to learn and know before calling himself an AI specialist. So you need to learn things like statistics, linear algebra, basic calculus. You need to learn and understand the machine learning algorithms, deep learning algorithms, the artificial neural networks, and you need to understand how to process large amounts of data. So all of these things, you need to learn and understand in terms of an application and practical perspective, right? While you obviously need to understand some aspects of the theory, no one is asking you to become a mathematics specialist here, a maths expert. You need to understand these algorithms from the perspective of being able to understand where and how and when and how to apply them, and not from the theoretical or formula derivation perspectives. There are a lot of tools which are used in this area, but some of the most popular tools that you need to definitely know as of today are R, Python, TensorFlow, Keras, Spark, SQL. So R is a tool which is used to analyze data using statistics and mathematics, create machine learning systems. Python is equally or more popular than R now as far as machine learning and AI is concerned. TensorFlow and Keras are actually just libraries which are part of Python. So anyone wanting to work in AI definitely needs to know R and Python. And then there is Spark, which is used to work with machine learning, creating machine learning systems for humongous amounts of data. And SQL, which any person, any data analyst, data scientist, or machine learning specialist or AI specialist has to know, because you are working with huge amounts of data which would be stored in databases and data warehouses, for instance. So all these things you need to learn to become an AI specialist, and obviously it's a step-by-step process. So what are the kind of skill sets that are required as far as job descriptions are concerned? So Python outstrips almost each and every other requirement. So most jobs which are available in machine learning, data science, and AI will require you to know Python, followed by SQL and R. And then there are many other tools which one can know or learn. But essentially, if you know Python and R, you are good to go as such. There are a lot of myths, floating around about this area, about how one can create a career in this area, and I just wanted to address some of them. So one myth is that machine learning AI solutions rely very heavily on programming, right? A lot of you may be fearful that I don't know programming, or how will I deal with so much programming? The truth is, what we use to create these machine learning systems and AI systems are scripting languages such as R and Python, which are much easier to learn and code in versus Java, C++, etc. Right? A lot of the algorithms are already inbuilt into all these libraries which R and Python use, and all you need to do is call those libraries and call those functions, and your job is done. So today, to create an AI system, you may not even need to write more than 20-25 lines of code, and your job will be done. So you are not going to become a software developer, or you don't need to be a software developer or programmer to work in machine learning and AI, right? Another myth is AI is very stats and mathematics heavy, and having a background in statistics and mathematics is an absolute must. Again, that is not true. What you need to be is just comfortable with basic school or college level mathematics like linear algebra, matrices, probability, some statistics, very basic calculus. And that is something that even if you have forgotten can be easily learned and caught up with within a few days. And obviously we are also here to train you on those things too. The point is, a lot of these mathematical algorithms, as I said, are already available. You are not going to be creating new algorithms to create systems in AI and ML. You will be using what is already available to create these applications. So you don't really need to have a MSc or PhD in mathematics or statistics. Most people working in ML and AI today are engineers, right? Not necessarily PhD in maths or stats. So just give me a few minutes to quickly go through our course, which is the Advanced TCS Certified Artificial Intelligence Specialist course. So what is this course all about? Here you become a full stack AI expert, and you get certified by TCS post a final exam, right? You get certified by TCS in analytics and data science post a final exam by them. So you get an industry recognized certificate which will be very valuable for you anywhere in this world. Through this course, you will learn how to automate decision making and create human level intelligence through predictive analytics, machine learning, deep learning, and big data processing using tools like R, Python, TensorFlow, Keras, Hadoop, Spark, SQL. So all those concepts and tools which I spoke about that you need to become an AI specialist is something that is covered within this program. You learn through over 25 real world case studies. So here you're not just learning theory in isolation, or the tools in isolation. You are actually learning how to combine them using 25 real world case studies to actually create an overall AI system, or a data science application. Here you will work on 12 real world projects which will help you create an AI ready job CV. Right. So you work on those projects, you put them on your CV, and that will actually act as experience on your CV. So this course is designed to create AI experts who are well armed to deliver on the job on day one. So, post this course, you don't really need to be trained by your company. You can join the job and start delivering on day one. And that is what companies love, right? They are not able to hire experienced people today because there are not enough experienced people in AI, and they are very expensive also. So the next best thing for them to do is to hire trained people, trained talent whom they can immediately deploy and get them to start working, rather than having to train them, waste time, waste money, waste resources training them. And that is why a lot of companies come to us looking for talent too. This program has been designed by industry veterans who have 30 years of experience between them, and they know exactly what is required and by employers, and that is what they have put into the course. So how exactly does this program work? So we have two different options of learning. One is a live instructor-led online class, and one is a self-paced video-based plus faculty support method. So in the live instructor-led online class, you go through 160 hours of live instructor-led classes held online on weekends. So today you are sitting in this online class, and similarly each and every class will happen, except for one difference, that today I've asked you to restrict your questions only when I open up the floor for Q&A. In our actual class, when there are far fewer people, um, you will be able to ask each and every one of your question during the session itself, and the faculty will answer it at that point itself. So the faculty support is given to you live in class doubt solving, plus anytime you have a question outside the class, we have forums. You can connect with us over email or have scheduled phone calls too. This is a 30 weekend program. That's about 7.5 months. Every Saturday and Sunday, we'll have 3 hours of live online classes. And you will attend these online classes over 30 weekends. So there will be approximately 60 classes in total of 3 hours each. We have a learning management system where you can have access to all the material available for this course: reading material, presentations, projects, assignments, codes, data sets, etc. And apart from that, each and every class will also get recorded, and these recordings will be also available to you for your lifetime, right? So anytime you miss a class, you can go through the recording. You want to refer, after attending a class also, you want to refer back to what happened to it, you can go through the recording. Later on, post the course, when you're preparing for interviews, you can go through the recording. So eventually, this works far better than a physical classroom, where if you miss a class, the class is gone. Once you have attended the course, the class is gone. All you have are your notes to fall back on. Here you can have the recordings with you for your lifetime, and it will be like being able to attend the classes again and again. At the end of the course, you get a certification when you complete the certain number of projects from us. And obviously there's a final exam which you can give with TCS, post which you will get the TCS certificate also. The fees for this program originally is 88,250 plus taxes, but currently we are offering a 15% discount till 11th of March. So you get it at 74,990 plus taxes, 18% GST. You can pay the fee through 6 interest-free installments through our financing partners. And for now, you can reserve your seat by paying just 5,000 rupees plus taxes, so that you can reserve this discount, and the rest of the fee can be paid before your batch begins. So the next immediate batch that starts is 16th of March, where every Saturday and Sunday 2 to 5 we will have classes. For the video-based self-paced option, you learn through 200 hours of videos at your time and pace. So you're not attending live classes on weekends here. You are learning at your time and pace, without any deadlines, without any timelines. So, you can learn as slow as you want. You can learn and finish as fast as you want. The faculty support is available to you through forums and through email, right? Um, so since you're not attending live classes, you can't ask your questions live. But within 24 hours, you will get a response on the forums or over email or through scheduled calls. Everything else remains the same except for the fee, which is post the 15% discount, 59,990 plus 18% GST. And again, you can pay the fee in 6 installments. There are no batches for this option. You can start learning anytime you want and start learning, you can start learning even today if you want. So what exactly do you learn in this course? So initially you start off with a module on business analytics or predictive analytics in R and SAS, which goes on for about 75 hours, where you learn all the requisite statistical techniques of analyzing data using tools like R and SAS. Then you move on to learning machine learning in Python, where for another 54 odd hours you learn right from the basics of Python, basics of machine learning. So that continues for 54 hours. Then you move on to deep learning with TensorFlow and Keras, where you learn, all these techniques like artificial neural networks, for instance, which go into creating AI systems. So for another, close to 30 hours, you will be learning deep learning, and then through videos, you will be learning how to manage, process, and analyze huge amounts of data using Hadoop and Spark for another 30 hours, right? So in total, there is about 165 hours of live classes and 30 hours of videos, or if you take the self-paced option, almost 200 hours of videos. Who are the faculty? So these are all industry professionals who have anything between 3 to 10 years of experience between them in data science and AI, and they have worked across multiple verticals and domains like marketing, financial services, insurance, banking, supply chain, retail, telecom, etc. So they have a lot of knowledge with them, which they are currently applying to. Apart from that, the faculty have years of training experience between them, and they have trained thousands of students between them. So not only do they know their subject, but they also know how to impart the knowledge of this subject to people who are new to it. And that is very important from a faculty perspective, that the faculty should also be able to help you understand the knowledge that he has. And in terms of their educational backgrounds, they come from some of the best universities and institutes in this country like IITs, ISI, NITs, IIMs, and some of the other top universities. So today I can proudly say that some of the best faculty work with Advancer. We work with the who's who of, the corporate world. We work with Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies to train their employees in data science and AI, and we train them on the same program that you'll be going through, and we will provide them the same certificate that you get. So we work with companies like EY, HP, Deloitte, GE, Genpact, PwC, Microsoft, etc. And apart from that, many other companies, and we help them out not only in terms of training them, but also help them out in hiring. So whenever they have requirements, they do come to us, and we help them out through hiring from our students. So thanks for being patient enough in listening to me so far, and for those of you who are attending this webinar currently, we will offer you a free self-paced course on text analytics in R, or risk scorecard modeling or risk analytics in SAS, which is worth 10,000 rupees. These are video-based courses on purchasing the AI program from us by 11th of March. So before I open up the floor for Q&A, there are some very common questions that are asked, and I'll want to address these questions right up front so that you don't have to repeat them, right? So what is the background or prerequisite that is required is a question that is very frequently asked for this course or for this field. So ideally, those who have an engineering or a technical background or an MSc, background should take up this AI course, right? Those who are from an MBA or non-technical background should take a look at our data analytics specialization course, which will be much more useful for them and much more relevant for them. A basic programming background is always useful, even if it's C or C++, but it's not mandatory, right? So if you have done some programming in the past, maybe in college, etc., that will always be helpful to you. If you have not, let's not worry, we are teaching everything from the basics onwards. How will data science or AI or these courses help my career is another question that is frequently asked by people who are not really very well aware of this field. So One is, I hope I have made you much more aware of what this area is all about today. But to answer this question, by moving into data science and AI, you move into a very high growth career, right? This is an area which is very hot. This is an area which is being talked about around the world. This is an area where there's a shortage of people, salaries are high, and that is where you are in a very, very high growth career. Technology is changing, things are really happening in this area. You obviously get a very big salary jump when you shift to data science and AI, right? That goes without saying. And eventually you're working on much more impactful and satisfying work. So what more would you require, from a career? A career in data science and AI provides you all the things that you require, and it's a no-brainer that you should be looking to make a shift into it. What is the salary I can expect after this course or after moving into data science and AI? Now, I can't tell you what your exact salary will be because there are many, many variables which go into that. But what we have seen is that our students get anything between a 40 to 100% pay hike in their salaries. And your salary will depend on your background, the company, job role, etc. Do you provide placement assistance? Yes, we help you with your resume preparation and interview preparation. And a lot of companies come to us, right, from startups to large IT companies to hire our students. We will keep you updated on such opportunities and will forward your CVs to these companies if you would like to apply for these openings. So yes, we do provide placement assistance to all our students. So just a few very handpicked chosen examples of our students who have made a move to this field, and you can just go through their backgrounds and see what they have achieved after our courses. So now I'll open up the floor for questions and answers. Any questions that you may have, feel free to ask, and I'll be happy to answer that to the best of my ability. But just make sure, what I'll be doing is taking up the questions in the order that you put them up. So first asked, first answered. So if you find that your question is not being answered, that's because I'm answering questions which have come previously, and I will come to your question shortly. So do not put up your question again, right? Just put it up once and I will answer it. All right. So, I'll start with a question asked by Kaushik. Please explain neural networks. So Kaushik, to be very honest, to understand neural networks, you'll need to take up our course because that's a very, very in-depth and advanced topic. So I won't be able to explain it to you here. But, in a very brief nutshell, artificial neural networks are systems or mathematical representations of how the human brain works, right? So I'll leave you with that for now, because then the discussion will become very, very technical and involved. Joshua, your question is DevOps the same as automating tasks? How is DevOps different from AI? So Joshua, I'm not really an expert on DevOps, but from what I understand, DevOps is a methodology to, execute projects. It has nothing to do with AI. Parul, your question is this course is TCS certified, then why there is any job offer from TCS? Sorry, Parul, I didn't understand. Are you saying will TCS recruit people post getting the TCS certification? Yes. So TCS will, call you for interviews if you meet their requirements once you clear this certification exam, right? So I hope that is the question that you are asking. Arun, your question is, can someone who doesn't have any experience in coding, programming, and also doesn't know maths or statistics go in for AI's course? If yes, will this course teach from scratch? So Arun, this course will teach you from the scratch, but if you are absolutely ignorant about, basic college level mathematics, or, you have absolutely no programming background, you come from a non-technical background, I would suggest look at our data science or data analytics courses, as those will prove to be more relevant and easier for you, right? All our courses are available on the website. You can go through them. So Ragesh, you're saying that you have gone through the data science specialist and AI course, and it seems that 90% of data science specialist course is covered in AI also. So does it mean we can apply for data scientist post too? Yes, absolutely, Ragesh. Right. So in the AI course, we also cover whatever is covered in the data science specialization too, apart from adding in two other modules, which are deep learning, which is actually core AI, and big data analysis, right? So those are two additional modules to the data science specialist course as far as the AI course is concerned. So you can always apply to a data science position. And to be very honest, Ragesh, a lot of people working in AI are also data scientists only, right? So when you are a data scientist, you will be generally be expected to be able to work on all of these areas too. Raghav, your question is, can a 15 years experienced professional in mechanical take up this as the next career? Raghav, that really depends more on what exactly you're doing currently. And to be honest, with 15 years of experience, it's always difficult to make a move into an area as highly technical as this, right? So for you, I would suggest you look at, again, our data analytics course. Hasina, your question is, you're a mainframe professional with 7 years experience. Is this course relevant to me? Absolutely, Hasina. This course will be relevant to you given your background. Jayanta, your question is, you're from an aerospace background and in teaching for last 5 years. Will this course help you to enter the industry as an AI expert? Absolutely, Jayanta. This course is designed to create, AI professionals and AI specialists. So anyone who takes up this course, completes it, achieves the certifications, will be able to work in AI, and you will be able to start your career in data science and AI. Krishnendu, your question is, does 10th or 12th marks matter to get placed? No, it doesn't. Only your skill matters. Pallavi, I'm not sure why you were not able to listen to me in this session. Please do go through the recording though. Rohan, yes, there is an exam conducted by TCS at the end of the session, at the end of the course. Edgar, your question is, in which of your certifications are the tools of Python and R taught from foundation and in-depth? So both in the data science and AI specializations, Edgar, we are teaching you everything from scratch and in-depth, right? Krishnendu and Raghav, I have answered your questions. Please do not put them up again and again. Pallavi, your question is, after completion of course, do you provide the TCS test? Uh, Pallavi, you mean after completion of course, first you provide TCS test. There is a TCS test at the end of the course, Pallavi. That test or exam happens once or 4 times every year. So whenever you feel, you have completed the course, the next available date, you can take up the exam. Joshua, your question is, the self-paced course is 200 hours. Is it possible to finish within 3 months? So Joshua, it is 200 hours of videos. Obviously, you will need to go through those videos maybe even twice. So that's 400 hours, and you will need to put in another 200 hours of practice and work on assignments and projects. So let's say at least 500 hours of work you will have to do. If you can put in about 5-6 hours every day, you can complete in 3 months. Otherwise, it's obviously a bit difficult to complete in 3 months. Parul, your question is, can a commerce graduate go for AI? Not really, Parul. Do take a look at our data analytics specialization course. Akash, your question is, I'm quite interested in maths, but I don't have a computer background. Is there a course to start my career to switch to IT? So Akash, if you want to switch to IT, AI and data science are not IT. So first decide what you want to do. Do you want to work in software development and engineering or software testing, or you want to work in AI and data science, right? So if you don't have a computer's background, that's fine. If you have an interest in maths, then data science and AI is the way to go. Arun, you're asking is the exam online? So Arun, you actually need to visit a center to give the exam, and these centers are available all across India. So as of now, it's offline, but I do believe that they are working on an online exam functionality also, Arun. Ragesh, your question is whether we will be provided any test environment to perform the practicals. So all the tools will be available to be downloaded on your own systems, on your own machines, so that you can work on it whenever you want. The Hadoop and Spark tool will be available on a cloud lab for 6 months. Krishnendu, as an absolute fresher, you can expect a salary in the region of about 5 lakhs per annum, 5 to 6 lakhs per annum. Joyanta, your question is you're working as a team lead in a machine learning company on-demand data services and having a background of subject matter expert in Wipro for HP. Will this course help you to move forward? And how will this course be relevant for you? So Jayanta, you are already working as a team lead in a machine learning company. I'm sure you are pretty much aware of all the machine learning work that your company is doing. Now, if you want to work hands-on and join the machine learning teams over there, then this course is for you. It will help you to move forward, upskill yourself, eventually double your salary. So I think you obviously need to do this, Jayanta. Jayanta Sinha, your question is, do we need to have coding knowledge to start this course? Again, I have already answered that in my FAQ. Basic programming knowledge will be helpful, but it's not mandatory, Jayanta. Kaushik, your question is, you are for C# .NET technology. Shall you move to AI? How much growth can you see? Will C# help to learn AI? So again, I've already answered that, Kaushik, that as long as you have a basic programming background, it's always going to be helpful to you, right? And you can definitely move to AI post this. Rohan, your question is case study is important in data science. So yes, Rohan, it is definitely important because that's how we learn practically. Arka, your question is you have 3 years gap between 12th and BTech. Is this course useful for you? So Arka, this course is useful for you depending on what you're doing currently. If you have a 3-year gap between 12th and BTech, that's not really relevant at all. Edgar, your question is in what depth is one expected to understand R and Python tools to be efficient on the job? So Edgar, you will be expected to, create machine learning systems and data science systems using R and Python, and that's what we are going to teach you on. So what you need to work on your job, be efficient on your job, we are going to teach you that. Joshua, your question is the big data section enough knowledge to get a job as standalone big data engineer if you're not finding a job in AI? Absolutely, Joshua. So again, our standalone big data course is the part of the AI specialization course. So just that big data course by itself will enable you to get a job in big data too. Viresh, your question is, do you need strong mathematics skills to get into this domain? Viresh, again, we are teaching you everything from the basics onwards, but of course you need to be comfortable with learning mathematics. You may not know or not remember much of what you have learned in school and college at the moment, but that's fine because we will cover those basics, but you should be comfortable with learning it. Arun, your question is why Advancer is giving certificate from TCS. What is the role of TCS in this course? So Arun, TCS is the certification partner for this program. TCS is eagerly looking to hire a lot of people in its data science and analytics and AI teams, and they are tying up with an institute like us because they recognize the quality that we are providing in our program, and they recognize that the students who come out of this program will be of high quality and people whom they, and not only they, their clients and other companies in this industry can recruit, right? So their intention is to be able to get trained talent. Arun. Jashwant, your question is, you are into software testing for 2.5 years with a current package as X lakhs per annum, and you have started to learn Python with data science. Since you'll be new to AI or data science, can you expect the same package or less? So Jashwant, you can expect a package which is at least 40 to 50% higher than what you're getting right now. Anjan, your question is, you do have around 2 years of experience in web development. What would be the expected next salary range in AI? So anyone with 2 years of experience can expect in the region of about 8 to 10 lakhs per annum. Akash, your question is, you're already done with robotics, so is it helpful to set your career? So Akash, if you are already done with robotics, you need to add AI to your skill sets because those are pretty much complementary. Monish, is big data substitute to SQL? Monish, no, big data is not a substitute to SQL. SQL you will need from time to time when you are working, when you need to extract the data from general databases or data warehouses. Big data is obviously you will need when you work with humongous amounts of unstructured data like videos, photos, audio, text, mixed kind of data, which is in the region of terabytes, petabytes, then you need to know big data technologies and be able to work with that. So, when you work in data science and AI, you'll be working with very, very varied kinds of data, and hence you need to be prepared to access and work with any kind of data that is available. Parul, your question is, you have completed your graduation in 2015, gap of 4 years till now, you're a fresher, so data analytics specialist will help you grow your career. Absolutely, Parul. So, you have a gap of 4 years, you completed your graduation in 2015, so now you need some new skill sets, right? New skill sets where you can convince an employer to hire you. So that is where data analytics comes into the picture. Ragesh, your question is, you're a database administrator, you have a sound knowledge in SQL, and whether your current designation will help you to work as an AI engineer after the course. Absolutely. So you already work with data systems, you know SQL. What you're doing is upskilling yourself, Ragesh, right? So when you're upskilling yourself, you will eventually work in an area which utilizes those skills and gives you the reward for learning those skills too. So guys, before I proceed with the further questions, I'm just opening up a small, uh, you know, uh, poll for you on your screen. We'd just like to know the responses there. The responses are anonymous, just helps us to understand the numbers. Sorry for the typo there. The batch is not after 23rd Feb, it's after 16th March now. Right? 23rd Feb was our last batch actually. Arun, you're a process and improvement consultant and certified Lean Six Sigma black belt. Will this course help to change my profile? So Arun, I would advise you to go in for the moment for our data science specialization course. That will be, far more useful and relevant to you rather than getting into AI at the moment, right? So go in for data science, that will be much more relevant. Swati, yes, we have an alumni network to whom we keep sending, job opportunities as they come to us. So whenever you get into, our alumni mailing list, you will keep getting job opportunities, whether you have got a job or you have not got a job. Edgar, your question is, for international students who are not resident in India, how can they take the certification exams? So Edgar, as I said, TCS is also working on getting these exams done online. So once the online exam is available, you can, give that exam. Krishnendu, I'm not sure why you keep putting up your questions 4 or 5 times. You are asking, is competitive programming necessary to get placed as an ML engineer or data scientist? Krishnendu, I don't understand the term competitive programming. What exactly do you mean by that? While you answer that, I'll move on to the next question. Parul, after completing this course for a fresher, what is the salary expectation? So I already answered that question, Parul. That's about 5 to 6 lakhs per annum. Arka, you're a third year IT student now. Okay. So, Arka, since you're a third year IT student, this is a good time for you to learn these new technologies and be prepared for your placements and job hunting post your, course completing. So you can definitely, look at getting a job in machine learning and AI once you have done this course, Sarka. Your 3 years gap really at the moment won't matter. Swati, your question is what is the scope of this course for the people pursuing career in risk management in banks? So if you're pursuing a career in risk management in banks, Swati, then I would advise you to go in for our data science specialization course, and we will give you the risk analytics course in SAS along with that, so that you can, target such a role in banks. That is going to be the perfect courses for you to target risk management role in banks. Rahul, your question is, you have completed your MBA in 2017 and you have 1 year of experience in insurance and you want to move and you're quite interested in data analysis. So definitely, Rahul, the data analytics specialization course is the one which you need to take up since you come with an MBA background. Monish, your question is, do the examples have the flavors of BFSI sectors? So Monish, one or two of our projects actually come from the banking industry itself. So yes, you'll be working on hands-on banking related data. Krishnendu, which profession pays better between investment banking or data science? So Krishnendu, being an investment banker myself in the past, I can say that investment banking obviously pays better. But to become an investment banker, you really need to graduate either from the IIMs or IITs. Only then can you really become an investment banker. Rohan, your question is what's the difference between a course which charges 3 lakhs and our course? So not sure which course you are referring to, Rohan, but there are multiple courses which are available in the industry today, courses which charge what we charge or courses which charge 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 7 lakhs. Each one provides, something with it. So a course which charges lakhs probably comes from a university with a university certificate or diploma, and that may be helpful to a certain extent, but here you are also getting a TCS certificate which is as good as a university diploma as far as the industry is concerned, right? So it is up to you, how much you want to spend and what kind of stamp you want on your CV. Arun, your question is business analytics and data analytics different? Not exactly, Arun. Again, these terms completely overlap each other. From our course perspective, our data analytics specialization consists of business analytics course and also the data visualization and text analytics course. So we have just named it differently, but otherwise it's almost one and the same thing. So guys, if you have put in your response to the poll, that's great. Otherwise, for those who haven't, would request them to do it so that I'll close the poll in the next 20 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds. Krishnendu, you're asking what about quant positions in investment banking? Right. So to become a quant in investment banking, you need a machine learning, knowledge. Edgar, you're saying the data science course will be appropriate for you. That's fine. Would the certification exam be done online? So Edgar, for our data science course, there is no TCS certification and no examination. The TCS certification is only for the AI specialization course. For our certification, you need to complete the projects and all that can be done online. So thanks for your response on the polls, guys. That's helpful to us. Rahul, your question is, will you give US application or live examples separately for ML, AI and data analysis? What do you mean US application, Rahul? And anyways, yeah, we are going to give you real world case studies and projects to work on in the course, if that is what you mean. Okay, so you meant us. Yeah, yeah. So we'll be giving you, real world projects and real world examples and case studies. Rohan, your question is, do you provide job in Mumbai? So Rohan, we get opportunities from companies across India. So it depends on where the company is looking to hire someone. We do get many opportunities for Mumbai also. Anil, your question is, you are a mechanical engineering grad BE. You have 10 years of experience. So Anil, given your background and number of years of experience, I would suggest you look at the moment only at the data science program. That will be more helpful to you. All right, guys, I have reached the end of the list of the questions. So, okay, yeah, I have one more question from Parul. No, Parul. So this TCS exam and certification is only for our AI specialization course because that is their requirement. Data science and data analytics will not have the TCS certification or examination there. Right. So as I was saying, if there are any further questions, please feel free to ask. I am here for another couple of minutes. If your questions have already been answered, feel free to exit this session, and I'll thank you all for joining us and being patient enough in listening to me. And I look forward to joining all of you joining our programs going forward. For any questions or doubts, please feel free to connect with us on the contact details mentioned here, and we'll be happy to help. All right.